Good evening, Jen. My name is Siti Nurhafiza, BINTI of SARUN, with number metric 279564. I'm from Group 7. Today, I will present the result of our study, which include from Chapter 1 to Chapter 5. Our title is The Effect of Income on Risk of Getting Obesity Among Working Adults in Malaysia. In Chapter 1, there are 5 parts. The first one is background. Based on the World Health Organization (WHO), around 1.9 billion adults aged 18 and over are overweight. Overweight and obesity refer to a disease where the accumulated fat is excessive, and this will directly lead to health risks for certain individuals. Overweight can be identified through a body mass index (BMI) that is above 25 and obesity that is above 30. The prevalence of obesity in Malaysia recorded as much as 11.4% is obese among men and 60.7% among women. The next is problem statement. Obesity leads to an increase in dangerous health problems such as diabetes, heart disease, and some types of cancer. Due to that, overweight and obesity are now increasing not only in high-income countries but also in low and middle-income. The next part is scope of study. This convenient sampling technique was carried out among family members, friends, and neighbors that are working. The target population for this study is working adults, including those with high income and low income. This paper used a sample of 30 respondents. Despite that, the researcher collected data by giving questions to working adults through Google Form. The objective of this study is to investigate how the income of working adults affect the risk of getting obesity. The next objective is to analyze the relationship between other variables, which are age, hours of work, hours of sleep, frequency of fast food consumption, and hours of exercise with risk of getting obesity. The last part is significance of study. Adult obesity is more common in Malaysia than everywhere else in Southeast Asia. The relationship between obesity and different income is intriguing theoretically because it clarifies how social inequality and obesity are related. Therefore, this study is expected to benefit individuals, community, and stakeholders in ensuring that strategies that can be implemented in overcoming the growing problem of obesity. Let me move on to Chapter 2, which is literature review. The first part is review of theory. The link between income and obesity can be traced back to the theoretical underpinnings of Grossman model. This model predicts a negative link between income and obesity because higher incomes will encourage investment in healthy lifestyle. The next part is Malaysian study. There are several Malaysia studies that emphasize the link between income and obesity. For instance, according to Ndoy Calvin, compared to the national average, the percentage of obese people in this urban poor neighborhood was greater. The last part in this chapter 2 is literature gap. As you can see, the figure is indicate the theoretical framework which explain the theories that link the dependent variable, which is the BMI, with independent variables, which are the monthly income, age, hours of work per day, hours of sleep per day, frequency of fast food consumption per month, and hours of exercise per week. I would like to talk about methodology in Chapter 3. The first one is sampling design. In this study, we use a convenient sampling technique. As I mentioned before, the target population was working adults, family members, friends, and neighbors. We use this technique because it is convenient to choose the units. Apart from that, we distribute the questionnaire by sending them a link of Google Form via WhatsApp and electronic media. The second one is simple. The target population in this study was 30 working adults who were members of our families, friends, and neighbors. In this study, we focus on the effect of income on the prevalence of obesity among all income group of working adults. Since we use convenient sampling, we choose working adults as our target to obtain data. The last part in Chapter 3 is model specification. The ordinary least square or LS model was the only model specified in the study to address the two research objectives. The most important variables in this model is the income of working adults. Despite that, we use 6 continuous variables. The most important variable is income. Table 2 shows a description data set that we use in this study. Moreover, I'll explain the finding and result of our study. The first one is summary statistic. In this summary statistic, based on table 4.1, the mean range of all the items are between 3.33 and 9.23. The highest mean indicates by income per month with 3.63.33, followed by dependent variables, which is BMI with 28.6743 and age with 40.93, while the lowest mean showed by working hours with 9.23, followed by quantity sleep 6.33, fast food 4.80, and exercise 1.16. The highest standard deviation is income per month with 1464.637, whereas the lowest standard deviation is exercise with 1.073. We move to the next slide, which is estimation model. According estimation table above, when income decrease by Rm1 ringgit, BMI will tend to decrease by about 0.1 on average, ceteris paribus. Next, when doing the exercise for 1 hour, it will tend of the BMI to decrease by 0.238 on average, ceteris paribus. Besides that, we also use the hypothesis in order to know whether the X variable and Y variable are significantly related or not. The hypothesis we use is t-test, half-test, and R-square. The first one is income. The income shows T statistic is 2.007 and the age statistic is 2.104, which is more than 2. Thus, we do reject H null because age and income and BMI are significantly related. For the F test, we obtain that the data of p-value is 0.187, which shows that at least one of the data is not equal 0. Thus, all the X variable does not have a statistically significant relationship with Y variable's BMI because the p-value of is less than 5%. Thus, we do not reject H null. The result of R square root in this study is R square equal to 0.297 or 29.7%. This means change in the 6S variable can explain 29.7% change in the Y variables. In conclusion, the summarized research this paper is we use a sample of 30 respondents selected from family members, friends, and neighbors working either high income or lower income. The questionnaire was conducted via Google Form and the ordinary least square OLS model is used in conducting this study. The main objective of this study is to investigate how the income of working adults affect the risk of getting obesity. The key findings of this paper are the two independent variables of income and age have significantly related to Y variable, which is BMI. Next is the implication. From the estimation result, it shows that X variable such as fast food, income, and exercise not influence the obesity in working adults population. Thus, we should use appropriate and accurate model in doing research in future study. Not only that, researchers in the future should also use appropriate and accurate models in doing research like this and ensure that readers can further improve their research. Lastly, in significance of study, if obesity is more prevalent among low-income people in a society, it will exacerbate already existing socioeconomic inequality. Therefore, this study is expected to benefit individuals, communities, and stakeholders in ensuring that strategy steps can be implemented in overcoming the growing problem of obesity. For the limitation of this study is this research article has several research limitations, including the target number of respondents who are obese is difficult. Nevertheless, this study reached the desired target respondent in achieving the objective of this study. That's all for me. Thank you.